Hello learners! It is another fun learning day with me, Teacher Debbie, and I will be your science teacher. Our lesson for today is all about the characteristics of vertebrates and invertebrates.
At the end of this lesson, you are expected to determine the distinguishing characteristics of vertebrates and invertebrates. Now, what is a backbone? A backbone is a central structure that supports the body and gives shapes. These are the bones of a fish, a snake, a bird, and a frog. We humans also have backbones. Without it, we cannot move. Animals are classified into two, the vertebrates and the invertebrates. Vertebrates are animals with backbones, such as the carabao, birds, and rat. While invertebrates are animals without backbones, such as lobster, crab, and sea urchins. Animals can be viviparous and oviparous. Viviparous are animals born alive by their parents, while oviparous are animals that are hatched from egg. Let us talk about the vertebrates. Vertebrates are classified into five: the mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish. Let us discuss the first classification of vertebrates. These are the mammals. Mammals are warm-blooded animals that are born alive or viviparous. Mammals do not lay eggs. They give birth to their young. They have hair or fur as their body coverings, like the monkeys, cat, dog, and cows. Mammals have mammary gland to feed their young with their milk. Some examples are cat, dog, and pig. Now, with all the characteristics of mammals, do you think humans are mammals? Yes, we are. Because we are born alive, we grow hair on our bodies, we breathe air, we have backbone, and our mothers feed us milk when we were young. The second classification of vertebrates are birds. Birds are warm-blooded animals hatched from egg or oviparous and covered with feathers. They have a pair of legs in hopping and a pair of wings in flying. Some examples are parrot, chicken, and lovebirds. But not all birds can fly. Birds use their beak or bill in getting food as well as for protecting themselves from their enemies. The third classification of vertebrates are reptiles. Reptiles are cold-blooded vertebrates hatched from egg. They have dry scaly skin and some have shells. Some examples are turtle, snake, and crocodile. Amphibians, the fourth classification of vertebrates. Amphibians are cold-blooded animals hatched from egg. They spend part of their lives in water and part on land. Some examples are the frog or toad, and a salamander. They have moist and scaleless skin. The last classification of vertebrates are the fish. Fish are cold-blooded animals hatched from egg. They are covered with scales and breathe through their gills. Some examples are the clownfish, milkfish, and shark. Fish use their tails and fins to swim. Now let us go to the second classification of animals, the invertebrates. Invertebrates are animals without backbones, and it is classified into 6 classifications, namely the arthropods, mollusks, worms, cnidarians, echinoderms, and sponges. The first classification of invertebrates are the arthropods. Arthropods are different from each other, but they have lots of things in common too. They have an external skeleton called the exoskeleton, which protects the soft parts of their body. They have jointed legs that are used to move around. Some arthropods shed their exoskeletons several times. This is called molting. Depending on the number of legs, arthropods are divided into different groups. Insects have 6 legs, like this ant. Arachnids has 8 legs, like this spider. Crustaceans has 10 legs, like this crab. And myriapods has more than 10 legs, like millipedes. The second classification of invertebrates are mollusks. Mollusks, their body is soft and sometimes protected by a shell. In other cases, they have no shell at all. They are oviparous animals, which means they are hatched from egg. Mollusks are classified into 3: gastropods, cephalopods, and bivalves. Gastropods, they move through their muscular foot. Cephalopods, they have no shell, but they have long tentacles. And the bivalves, they have shell which closes tightly to protect them from predators. They are usually attached to rocks or sand. Worms, the third classification of invertebrates. They have long, soft bodies. Their skin is moist and they breathe through it. They do not have legs, that's why they crawl. They can live on land like earthworms, and they can also live in a water like leech or leeches. Did you know that the longest worm found measured 180 feet, longer than in an Olympic-sized swimming pool? Amazing, isn't it? Let us go to the fourth classification of invertebrates, the cnidarians. Cnidarians are marine animals and they are divided into 2. Jellyfish are almost transparent and their body is gelatinous. Polyp live on reefs or attach themselves onto rocks. Moving on to the fifth classification of invertebrates, the echinoderms. Echinoderms move slowly on the seabed. Examples are starfish, sea urchin, sea cucumber, and sea lilies. Sponges, the last classification of invertebrates. Sponges are full of pores. Many sponges are soft and smooth. Some are hard and rough. Sponges cannot swim, that is why we thought they are plants instead of animals. They cannot make their own food. They feed themselves using their pores.
With that, let us have an activity called the fact or bluff.
Say fact if the statement is correct or bluff if not. You will be given 5 seconds to answer each question. Number 1. The classifications of animals are divided into two: vertebrates and invertebrates. Time's up. If your answer is fact, then you are correct. Number 2. There are 5 classifications of invertebrates, namely fish, mammals, amphibians, birds, and reptiles. Answer is bluff, because fish, mammals, amphibians, birds, and reptiles are classifications of vertebrates. Excellent. Number 3. Vertebrates are animals that have backbones. Answer is fact. Excellent. Number 4. Invertebrates are animals without backbones. If your answer is fact, then you are correct. Last number. Mammals can lay eggs. If your answer is bluff, then you are correct. Why? Because mammals do not lay eggs. They gave birth to their young. Before we end our discussion today, always remember that we are not the only one living in this world. God has given us so many wonderful animals, each one with different characteristics and awesome features. When God created the world, He assigned men to take care of His creation, so let us all give them value and take care of them.
Now you know the different characteristics of vertebrates and invertebrates. Let us have a paper and ballpen activity.
Using your answer sheet, answer the following. Put V if the animal is classified as vertebrate, and I if it is an invertebrate.
That's all for today, kids. Thank you and keep safe.